We are entering a new phase of globalization. The future of the liberal world order established by the transatlantic powers has become more debatable. The presidential elections in the United States, the Brexit referendum, current and upcoming elections in continental Europe, and the emergence of nationalist rhetoric are all leading us to ask significant questions about liberal politics across the world. In light of this uncertainty, Georg Soerensen's book's great achievement is posing timely and difficult questions about the old and new world order. Now, it is useful to be clear with the meaning of world order. Soerensen defines this not just as relations between states, but also as a reflection of what is happening within states. Soerensen provides a new analytical framework consisting of three pillars: domestic conditions, international conditions, and the global distribution of power. This framework calls our attention to a more complicated analysis of world order, which aims to bring the domestic and international together with an understanding of global power distribution. Soerensen discusses how all states, regardless of income, economic and political development, are fragile. The sources of state fragility change if one travels from an advanced economy to a post-colonial state. However, one commonality regarding state fragility is that all states have to cope with social and economic uncertainties that are causing rising income inequality, declining trust in societies, and persistent intrastate conflicts. He also demonstrates that interstate wars are no longer the top threat to world order, as the political, social, and economic costs of such conflicts have risen tremendously in an interdependent world. Intrastate wars, on the other hand, have been increasingly common. And Soerensen delves into the interventions in fragile or in conflict-ridden states, and into questions of order and legitimacy. He puts forward the argument that interventions in fragile states may involve both peacekeeping and state-building, which is made increasingly difficult by the fact that the legitimacy of the Western-led order has declined in recent years. The formation of the New World Order can be challenging because it requires the crafting of an order that is perceived as legitimate. With more stakeholders in world politics claiming greater space, this will not be an easy task. Until the new order is fully established, we may expect to observe regional security complexes as second-best institutions. Another factor is globalization. Globalization has contributed to a world that is marked by both extreme wealth and poverty. Soerensen points out the underlying neoliberal economic model of the world order. It's questionable whether this can contribute to stability, especially when expectations of improved economic conditions are forcing developing countries to seek higher growth rates. And then there is global convergence. Advanced nations are struggling with sluggish growth and maintaining their advantage in the international trading system. Some developing nations are getting more and more competitive in similar international markets. Throughout this book, however, Soerensen always underlines that despite many challenges, global governance may not be experiencing a gridlock. The way we are currently attempting to resolve our global problems may not lift living standard upwards, think enforcement of climate change agreements, but we can cut carbon emissions and slow global warming. The keyword is good enough governance. Soerensen opts for a balanced view in calling for theoretical pluralism in international relations theory. Such an approach necessitates us to deeply engage with reality and therefore tailor our analyses. This would, for instance, require a realist not to begin an analysis with the expectation that conflicts are persistent. Coexistence may not be peaceful, yet wars are not inevitable, particularly in today's world order, which is defined by greater interdependence not only in terms of economic exchange, but more importantly through political and social interactions between societies. Rethinking the New World Order combines established theory with keen contemporary insight to account for the increasing complexity of international relations and should be an essential read for anyone seeking a contextualized and contemporary look at today's global order. Soerensen takes realism and liberalism, the two theories key to this introductory international relations class, and uses them to build a new framework for understanding an increasingly globalized world.